name is Chris Corbin, and I am the rector at Trinity Episcopal Church in Oshkosh. But I am also the Mission Action Team convener for evangelism, which is a position that I'm really excited about. Importantly, serving as the convener does not mean that I am the person who does everything for evangelism in the Diocese of Wisconsin. What serving as the convener is convening, is gathering a group of interested people throughout the diocese, both laity and those who are ordained, who are interested in this vital work of doing evangelism here in the Diocese of Wisconsin, of ensuring that the people in all of our Episcopal churches are equipped to go out into the world and share the good news that in Jesus Christ, God has overcome the forces of evil and sin and death in our world, and to offer to people hope for resurrection, hope for reconciliation, to be engaged in this ministry of reconciliation that has been entrusted to us by God through Christ. So that's really the big 10,000-foot view of what I will be doing, is gathering together this group of people so that we might be able to encourage and equip people to do evangelism throughout our diocese. Now, evangelism is not something that Episcopalians are necessarily really keyed into. It's not part of our sort of our natural toolkit that we reach to, and it's something that often we can be quite uncomfortable with. And so what I envision is, first of all, that this team will help people to become even just comfortable with the idea of evangelism, and also thinking through what does evangelism look like in a distinctly Episcopalian way. That what is the Episcopal way of doing evangelism, which is going to look similar to how other traditions engage, but it's going to draw on what are our particular gifts, what are our particular talents, what are our particular flaws and issues that we have to overcome. So there's a lot of different stuff that we will probably be doing as part of this mission action team. We've already put together a book study on Patricia Lyons's book, What is Evangelism?, which is about this sort of distinctive Episcopal character of what evangelism could be. And I should have you know that if you're interested in reading this book but weren't able to take part in the study, we still have plenty of books available, and those are things that I can get out to you as long as supplies last. But we read this book, we began thinking about what does a distinctly Episcopal evangelism look like? And this is setting the stage for this gathering of this team. So we're looking for people who are interested in thinking through these questions, even if you are apprehensive about evangelism because you've maybe had bad experiences with it in the past, because of how it is portrayed in the media or by other Christian traditions as this thing that can be intrusive and aggressive and abrasive. We want to look for other ways that we can share this good news that really, indeed, in Christ, God has overcome sin and death. So we will be gathering together resources to help people in different places and different aspects of their Christian life to be able to engage with evangelism, to be able to do this more fully, regardless of where they are on their spiritual journey. We're going to be hopefully putting together trainings so that we can go into local communities and equip people there to be able to live into the story that they have, to live into their part of God's story so that they can go out and share that with those around them. And we're going to be hopefully putting on special events. One of the things that's been brought up is seeing if we can get Patricia Lyons, who wrote this book on what is evangelism, to come out to the Diocese of Wisconsin and offer some talks and maybe some trainings. We've got a lot of different possibilities coming up, but it's not all fully set in stone because, again, this is going to be part of what this mission action team is doing, is thinking these things through and figuring out what the possibilities are as we begin to look at all of the resources, all of the needs, all of the talents and gifts that we have gathered together in our diocese. Now, I should say some things about what evangelism is not and what this mission action team will not be doing. This is not a mission action team that is first and foremost oriented towards church growth. Evangelism will likely lead to growth in communities that embrace it fully, but evangelism is not first and foremost a church growth strategy. It is a spiritual discipline that flows from our experience of what God has done for us and our desire to invite others into that, regardless of whether that leads to people setting foot in our door. The other thing is, this is not going to be a group that comes down and just demands that congregations fall lockstep into some sort of agenda we have. This is not going to be a group that issues edicts and requires congregations to act in a certain way. This is going to be invitational, just like the evangelism that we're inviting people into. And so if this is something that you're interested in, if this is something that you're apprehensive about, but you think that your voice would be vital, I invite you, come. Please take part in this. Contact me. Let's begin to gather together so that we can gather resources and gather ideas and begin dreaming and imagining and discerning, asking for the Spirit's guidance that we might be able to find out what is the best way to equip the Diocese of Wisconsin to engage in faithful, authentically Episcopal evangelism.